So yeah guys, today we are going to be reviewing the Lamborghini Huracan STO. So just a few of the basic stats. This has a 5.2 liter V10, naturally aspirated of course, making about 630 horsepower and about 417 pound-feet of torque to the rear wheels. It's a rear wheel drive supercar with rear wheel steering and electric steering of course. As all of these new supercars tend to now have electric steering, we're gonna see how good of a driver's car is this. Is this Lamborghini's best driver's car that they've created yet? This is a much more limited production car than, for instance, like the Lamborghini Huracan Evo, and it is more hardcore and track focused than the Lamborghini Technica, and even, for instance, the Lamborghini Huracan Performante. This would essentially kind of be like a mini SVJ, whereas the Performante is going to be more so like a mini SV. The SVJ, obviously, if you guys know Lamborghinis, that has a little bit more track focused things to it, including rear wheel steering and a little bit more crazy aero. This has crazier aero than in the Performante, and this does not have all-wheel drive like the Performante does. So let's set off and see what this car is like. First things first, the steering has a decent weighting to it. You know, I'd always criticize especially modern Lamborghinis for having really light steering. By the way guys, so this has 3 different drive modes. This has STO, Trofeo, and Pioggia. It starts off in STO mode, which is, I'm assuming, you know, your traditional kind of track road focused drive mode. And then Trofeo, I believe that might be more so on the street oriented level. So setting off in some really bad weather conditions, by the way. So this naturally aspirated 5.2 liter V10 is going to be the star of the show, obviously. One thing I will note though is that the steering seems to have a little bit more detailed communication than you would get in, for instance, the Temerario or even the Lamborghini Huracan Evo. This has a consistent ratio or a fixed ratio steering, whereas those cars tend to have a variable ratio steering. So that gives you a little bit more confidence mid-corner, but I can also already feel a little bit more texture coming through the wheel itself, which is a really welcome thing in a modern Lamborghini. Sometimes you just want that little bit more communication, that little bit more weightiness to it, and I feel like this does a pretty decent job. Let's give this a couple of revs, shall we? Okay, Trofeo definitely stiffened up the steering a lot more. I don't know if that's just me or if the corner got a little bit more high speed, but you definitely felt the steering weight up a little bit more than you did in the STO mode, in Trofeo mode. Also, the rear visibility is just terrible, especially with the snorkel in the top, the roof scoop, and where it feeds to. There's just no visibility in the rear. Really good throttle response, obviously, since this is a naturally aspirated vehicle. Wow, I'm really impressed with the steering. That is the one thing I will say. It's very stiff, has a good weighting to it. It's very communicative. You can feel exactly what the tires are doing. really good brakes as well, but they're kind of touchy. They're not as easy to modulate as in the McLarens, for instance. I believe this has brake-by-wire. Gear shifts are fast as always. The Huracan has one of the most immediate gear shifting transmissions that are out there on the market. It's like lightning quick. You got to be very careful with your throttle application in conditions like this. Hence why I'm not pushing the car, and it's also not my car, obviously. So yeah, guys, if we just look at the interior, this is a very race-inspired cockpit. It's not as luxurious as other Lamborghini Huracans that you can get with leather in the interior. Obviously, this is going to have more Alcantara, carbon fiber everywhere, carbon fiber door cards. So yeah, this is a much more race homologation street special car than the other Lamborghini Huracan models. The beauty of having a naturally aspirated supercar is that you can really modulate the throttle inputs. It's a lot harder to do in a turbocharged motor, but with this, you're not really going to be spinning the rear wheels as much as in, like, let's say a McLaren 750S or even a 570S or Artura, just because of how the power is fed in. And so it's a lot easier to control mid-corner without losing control, losing grip. But yeah, it's not super fast, I'll be honest, compared to those other rivals like the McLaren 750S and even the Ferrari 296 or even the 488. It's not as fast as that in how the power is delivered. But with the naturally aspirated motor in the back singing along, it really doesn't matter. You still get a very enjoyable driving enthusiast's experience with this car. So yeah, guys, this is the Lamborghini Huracan STO. It is a much better, let's say, investment if you're on the market compared to any other of the Huracans, just because this is the ultimate and it's also very limited in production number. Overall, guys, this was an absolutely amazing vehicle. Very buttoned down to the ground. That's what I feel like. It feels very planted to the ground. The aero helps, obviously. It produces about 1,000 pounds-feet of downforce at around 174 miles per hour. So yeah, there's plenty of grip to be had in this car, and you really do feel connected. And so yeah, that's my number one takeaway in this vehicle. If you're interested in this one specifically, then go check out Washington Exotics. It's here for sale. It probably will not be for sale for very long, because these kind of vehicles tend to go just like that. So if you're in the market, it is a wonderful connected driving experience, very raw. You hear that motor in the back. It's a wonderful Lamborghini experience. Old school Lamborghini, because now with the Temerario, you don't get this experience. So yeah, guys, you're definitely going to want to hold on to this if you are looking for an investment car. Yeah, anyways, guys, that's the video. Till next time.